This episode is brought to you by Black Rifle Coffee. Founded by veterans, built for first responders and those who back the red, blue, and green. Personally, I start my day off with their Silencer Smooth because it gets me focused before a long day of teaching, parenting, and training. When you order through our link and use the code GET30, you get 30% off and you help support our mission here at Yoga for First Responders. So if coffee is your ritual, like it is for me, make it one that fuels your nervous system and your values. Just click the link in the show notes and use GET30 at checkout. Okay, so it is week 2 of Ali Rothrock's episode. Eric is still at chaplain camp. I am sitting here with my poodle in my lap, crossing my fingers, hoping my child sleeps. So, yes, everything is status quo. I hope that you enjoyed the first part of our conversation with Ali and that you are looking forward to this second part just as much as I am. Right after I'm recording this, I am going to do some TED Talk coaching. So, for those of you who don't follow us on the socials, which, come on, you need to, you should, that's where all the announcements are being made. I was selected to do a TED Talk about this subject matter, yoga for first responders. And it's so interesting, guys, because I have been presenting this work for over 10 years. And I was, a performer, an actress, a dancer before that. So I'm really used to the performative, style of delivering information. This is different. TED Talks are a brand. So if you're familiar with TED Talks, you know what I'm talking about. You know a TED Talk when you see one. And it really is supposed to be a talk. It's not supposed to be a presentation. I'm literally being coached and trained, which is amazing to have this new skill and to present yoga for first responders differently than I ever have before. I want the work and the organization to stand on its own. And they're coaching me to bring me and my story, personal experiences building this into the narrative. And it's very different for me. This TED Talk will be happening in Albuquerque, New Mexico on September 27th. If anyone wants to make the trek out here, enjoying beautiful New Mexico and coming to hear the TED Talk, it's such a unique, immersive space. It's really, really going to be cool. And of course, if you can't make it, they're always filmed to watch afterward. But that's what I've been up to. So I hope that you are enjoying cleaning your house, driving your car, wherever you are right now as you listen to this podcast, and that you are feeling that you are joining Ali and me for a cup of coffee. That's the goal here. All right, enjoy the rest of our episode with Ali. Welcome to Yoga for First Responders on Air, where we break down yoga, neuroscience, resilience, and public safety in a manner that's authentic, educational, and most importantly, entertaining and lighthearted. I'm YFFR's founder, Olivia Mead. As a yoga instructor and neuroscience enthusiast, I'm passionate about supporting first responders and anyone looking to improve their overall human performance. Each week, we'll dive into a new topic and often bring on expert guests to share their insights and experiences. But we'll also keep it real and share our own stories and struggles along the way. So whether you're a first responder or seeking to master the science of mental and physical resilience, this podcast is your ultimate guide to triumph over life's challenges with unbreakable strength and unwavering fortitude. By pressing play, your training has begun. So, the book, whose hands did it end up in?
It ended up in Broadleaf Books. They're the publisher out of Minnesota.
Sorry, I meant after that, like the audience.
Oh, the audience.
Yeah, like who ended up being, were you surprised? Like, oh, actually, who's really enjoying it is this demographic?
Yes. So, the easiest demographic to get it to would be the attendees of conferences where I am speaking.
Okay.
Because I'm there. I've been really fortunate to sell like 300 copies or 400 copies to this conference or this conference and this conference. A generational trauma conference in Florida bought several hundred copies. And I was like, I didn't even know this conference exists. I want to speak at it next year.
Oh my gosh, so without your connection there.
I had no idea.
Wow.
And that is what started to happen is I would get these messages or random things would happen, or people like, "Hi, I'm in Alaska and I read your book and here's what it meant to me."
Oh my
And so
God.
that's what means the most, more than sales, more than charting, more than anything, because that was the point. That was the point of Where Hope Lives. That was the point of this, is helping people feel seen and heard and believed.
And so did you notice that those stories were coming from people in public safety or not
Not
necessarily?
always,
Yeah,
not
okay.
always at all.
Okay.
Sometimes they come from people who haven't even experienced trauma. They just love somebody who has, and they want to understand how to understand it better or talk to them differently. And so I think that surprised me. I wanted it to be readable by anyone, but I love how many people finish it, like find it and finish it, just because they like how I write
Mm-hmm.
and they think it's an interesting story and they want to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, I didn't anticipate that. I thought you would have to pick it up if you have like a real deep, I need to learn about trauma. I want to understand how to overcome this thing. And some people read it just because they like how I write. So I'm like,
Well,
huh,
it's like
okay.
it's like true crime podcasts.
Mm.
You know, I'm not listening because I've been, true
True.
crime.
It captivates you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also,
Because I've
I
been
like
true crime.
I've been true crime. And I like the hosts too because it's like how you write. It's like how they speak about it.
Yes.
I love their personalities.
Yes.
So now's the next book we're working on. We're trying to sell this one. And is your literary agent the one still trying to sell
Yep.
it? Okay.
Still doing
So
it.
although the publisher's limited,
Yep.
the literary
Publisher
agent
for After
is.
Trauma's done. We're going in a new direction for this next book.
So you mentioned, okay, publishers, whatever, they're like, great, great, great. Whatever's in there, I don't care. You could say poop 100 times, it doesn't matter. Can I sell it?
Right, literally.
And this has been your experience in all of the creative
Across
things
the industries.
that you are, okay. So what we've been talking about is like the first thing they look at is like how many followers you have on social media. We should all know that the number of followers, it could be inflated and it's not equaling engagement, but whatever.
So
but
true.
I see that it's the lowest hanging fruit of someone to get a snapshot of your reach.
If you matter to people or not, which is
Right.
how it was explained to me. Was I was like, is
If
it
you
really that
matter to
deep?
people.
But okay.
So, and it's a catch-22. It's the same thing of like coming right back around to background work.
Yeah.
There's a union for background actor. I mean, you can be in the union as a background actor, right? And then you get paid well, you get breaks, you get all of that stuff.
Good.
Non-union, you get your trash, right? But to get in the union as a background actor, you need like a certain number of waivers, like the time you've been in.
Okay.
But you can't get those waivers unless you get like a one line speaking or something, but you can't get those jobs unless you can audition from the union. Like it's all this thing, right?
Yeah.
So how am I supposed to get matter if people don't know I exist? Let them know I exist by producing my shit, and then I will get a lot of followers. So we were talking about this. That's like people tell, and this I have the same experience. Oh, great work, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well then can you fund it? Oh, we don't have money to fund it, but keep doing what you're doing. And I'm like, okay, I won't eat.
Right, it's fine. Yeah.
And you have the experience of your words matter, but we don't have it. And then, so then I said to you, so this is what the take I'm asking.
Please.
I said to you, and when I came to this realization, it was actually more freeing than it was maddening. No one cares. Because at the end of the day, so it's like, if I go into it knowing no one cares, then when someone cares, I'm like, great, But like, and I don't necessarily blame them because everyone's trying to fucking survive.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And it's like, oh God, that is a serious story, but I got to pick my kid up from daycare. You know what I mean? So it's like everyone is focused on their own lives, and they can identify your work as important, but also like they have to, whatever. So I understand it, but then, and our work is clearly, I've been told, saving. I even got a text, like I'm just gonna freaking read it
Your work
because
absolutely has.
And I know this has been true for you. Well, I don't need to read it, but basically this guy said like the work is saving lives. And I know people have said that to you too.
Yeah.
So what do we do, everyone? I'm not just asking you, I'm asking anyone who's listening. What do we do? Right. Because we are putting it out. I couldn't have put my work, like we're both like, here, it's right here.
Right.
but they're like, great, thank you for that. No, it's like I was in New York City with my friend Heidi.
Yeah.
There was a homeless woman on the street. Heidi handed her a banana. The homeless woman threw it, said, I don't want no banana, and threw it. No one wants our bananas. Do we keep handing people bananas or do we start an OnlyFans? Because at this
We'd
point,
probably get a bigger audience than we have.
of course we would. Are you kidding me? Like if I did yoga for first responders naked,
oh yeah,
all
all the
fully
followers.
funded.
It's infuriating because I understand people are like full-time content creators and they go and they like film their bagel for breakfast or their or like whatever. Great.
Look at my nails.
Love that works for you. For me, I am focused every hour of the day that I'm awake on making sure that On the Job and Off is running and thriving and we are meeting first responders with the care they need. I'm also focusing on inventing and writing the books, writing the screenplays, doing the things. So when I have these incredible meetings I'm having now, I can say, here's this thing you've stated you need. I have it.
And they're like, thanks.
And they're like, we love it. This is what we've been looking for. You don't have enough Instagram followers.
Hey, real quick, and I'm going to explain it in our intro, but give a quick snapshot of On the Job and Off so our listeners are like, what are you talking about? Blah, blah,
For sure.
Yes.
On the Job and Off is the company that I started 7 years ago this month. We say that we are help that helps. That's it in a nutshell for first responders. We serve fire, EMS, dispatch, law enforcement, probation and parole, and corrections. We have full suites of online resilience, mental health, sleep courses. And we also have our first responder assistance program that pairs first responders in need with clinicians that are trained in their discipline, and it's at no cost to the first responder.
So if you're a first responder listening right now and you're like, hey, I could use a helping hand,
onthejobandoff.com.
Lifeline, just go to onthejobandoff.com.
That's it.
And then click around, go to the frat part of it, like see all that, and there'll be something you need.
Reach out.
We'll obviously give you stuff. So just note that. Okay.
Thank you.
So here's what you need. Well, we've got the published research studies from YFFR prevents PTSD. Here you go. So I think there are several elements to this. Okay. First of all, people be peopling.
Yeah, sure
okay.
do.
So
sure do.
Sure do.
Yeah.
That's just a given. That's our baseline is people. So we're starting at a deficit. Yeah. Okay. One is, I think it takes a very rare person who actually wants to heal, like you. People, their trauma becomes their identity and their story. So if you dare take that away from me, I'm a no one. I don't know who I am without my trauma story.
Yes.
So it becomes trauma performative.
Yes.
And so when I come, listen, I'm coming with pure love and intention here. I have been ripped a new asshole by people. I don't want to say, I'm not going to say who, when, or where.
You could if you want it.
I want to say it may rhyme with Schmenber. That was many years ago. This person's probably, whatever. But anyway, the point is like, when you ask someone to heal, it's like cornering a wild animal.
Yes.
They're going to start fighting for their lives because their lifeline is my trauma.
Yes. Two things. One, I have seen that in the space that I am in where I'm like a person who speaks publicly about a hard thing that happened. I'm 36. It happened when I was 16. I, for whatever reason, have been able to grow with my story and grow with my experience and not talk about it the same way that I did when I first started. But I have seen people who they are stuck. They are stuck developmentally. They are stuck spiritually. They are stuck mentally in the mindset they were in when that trauma happened. And they continue to speak about it in the same way.
Yep.
And they are unwilling to grow away from it because you lose that identity of who you were. My identity has grown and evolved with me.
Right.
But for some people, that is who they are. That's their entire personhood.
Yeah.
That they're not able to make that shift. And, the floods in Texas just happened less than a week ago. A lot of the projects that I'm pitching now have to do with this idea that we need media that doesn't just report on these bad things, but talks about what happens after, the ways that people show up for each other, and helps us process and make meaning of the bad things that happen. So I have these conversations where people are like, totally, love it, get it. But they want it to be trauma porn. They want it to be the exploitative way that the news talks about these stories. And that's not what we're doing. There's enough of that. And so to your point, that's sometimes all the only way we know to talk about these hard things is the death counts and all these things which matter and should be talked about. But when we don't talk about more than just that headline, we miss the whole context on ourselves, our own ability to be resilient by these like patterns of resilience that people do. And we miss all the context on ourselves. And those are the stories I want to tell. And people are like, for sure, but can we be sure to like really focus on the dead kids? And I'm like, we'll talk about them because that's what happened, but we're going to talk about more than just that.
Well, first of all, creating meaning out of a difficulty is how you become resilient and how you process it. That has to happen. I think that also it's hard for people to understand because we're not taught as children these resiliency tools.
True.
So it's foreign to them.
Yeah.
And not as impactful.
Yeah.
I always equate it to flossing and brushing your teeth because we're taught when we're little to floss and brush our teeth every day to take care of our oral hygiene.
Yeah.
It's not weird because you learned it when you were younger.
Right.
No dude is giving another dude shit in the locker room because he's brushing his teeth. Like, what? You're a pussy, you're brushing your teeth.
Yeah.
Right? But then, so if we were taught a 3-minute tool like brushing your teeth, but for nervous system regulation, then it would be very normal.
How to talk about our emotions, how to name them, basic emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence. That's what I'm trying to get to here. Is when you're creating meaning from something hard requires emotional intelligence that 95% of people have not been skilled in, and as an adult, it is very hard to start. Right. And so you're talking about something that they can like, okay, sure, but they can't like, you know, what's easier, low-hanging fruit is body count, trauma, dead thing, horrible thing that happened. Yes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's another reason.
Yeah, so true. Yeah, because making meaning requires that you have some ability to be introspective and understand how something felt when that thing happened. And in my work as a crisis counselor, I am most often meeting people for the first time right after the worst thing has ever happened to them. So that is not the time to be like, so there's this thing called emotional intelligence.
A bigger, right, exactly.
But to your point, because most people don't have that foundation, I have to figure out other ways to help them access those meaning making pathways because it's just not something they have done before.
Right. And here's the thing too, is when they don't have that emotional intelligence background or platform, it's almost getting defensive.
Oh yeah.
This actually comes back to the fertility stuff. Is I find the people that are most offended by someone saying the wrong thing are the ones that don't have that emotional resilient fortitude to not be knocked off center.
Right. Because it's like your opinion doesn't change at all, my experience.
Right. So if I ask someone after a trauma to like, hey, let's look at a bigger picture here, blah, 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 blah. Fuck you, bigger picture, blah, blah, blah. Right. You don't have this stability inside you. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. And I mean, usually where I start with people is just let us start by naming what you are feeling.
Yeah.
Because we can take steps forward from whatever your answer is. Anger, sadness, rage, shock, I'm not feeling anything. We can take steps forward from any of those things. But if we don't know where we're starting from,
we can't go anywhere.
I don't know how to help. And so often, especially with men, I wrote about this in After Trauma, after a line of duty death, I was having this conversation with a really young firefighter who watched his friend die, and he was like, I've never done that before. I don't know what you mean. Name what I'm feeling. I don't know what you mean. And so that was just like such a powerful moment for me of like, people just don't have this, they haven't flexed this muscle. And so it's like, how can we?
So you're not taught to.
Right. And really, you're taught to suppress what you feel.
It's you can see this so clearly in raising a toddler or raising a child. I'm serious. Like, they're emotionally unintelligent. Right? They have
all feelings.
And you are their coach.
Yeah.
And so the littlest thing, and they're in a spiral. It's not the time to get angry with them. It's not the time to teach them a lesson or whatever.
Yeah.
I sit with her. I let her complete the emotional
Wow.
cycle. Eric and I will say, like, are you feeling frustrated? Are
Yeah.
you feeling sad? Like,
Yeah.
let's figure it
Yeah.
out.
Helping her
You
figure
know,
out what
yeah.
is this feeling?
Exactly. Like, for
Yeah.
example, interesting, I told her yesterday that we're going home. She has to take a nap.
Yeah.
She was like, no, I'm happy.
Oh.
And so what was interesting is, okay, so she's equating when she gets very tired, she gets very upset and cries a lot. Oh, she's overly tired.
Right.
So and then she goes to sleep. So she started equating going to sleep with being sad.
Interesting.
So it's just see how she's piecing everything together.
Yeah.
But it takes so much bandwidth to train a little person to be emotionally intelligent.
Yeah.
So first of all, and then I see my parents, the upper generation who did not have that, and how they talk to her versus how I talk to her because of
Interesting.
the suppression.
Yeah.
You're too pretty to cry.
Oh, yikes.
Oh, Philippe, our little dog, Philippe is worried. He doesn't want to see you cry. And I'm always like, she can cry. Crying's great. We love crying. Keep crying. Like, do what, you know what I mean?
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
she's allowed to cry.
So you can see how we got here.
Yes.
You know,
but when we
have to
know
turn
better,
this
we
big
can do
ship,
better.
you know, around.
So true.
So, all right. So we can kind of see why people are not flocking to the solution. Now let's talk about just general social media. Okay.
The bane of my existence.
Can someone tell me,
please,
why a lady who looks like this and does baking has 4 million followers on Instagram, and I'm in here sweating my balls off trying to tell people that I'm literally giving you the solution to save your life, and they're like, no, I'm not going to like that. I'm not going to follow. Like, what the hell? Just social media in general. Can someone please explain?
The real simple answer is the patriarchy. That's why. That's why. In her tiny little quiet submissive voice, it's easy. You know?
So if that's why. I've solved our problem.
That's why.
Yeah, because you're like, so I want you to take a deep breath in.
Yeah.
And downward facing dog. Because how I teach is downward facing dog. If you don't do it correctly after the 10th time I've told you how to do it, then you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
Like I literally fucking say, like, what are you thinking about? You're not here. You know.
Yeah.
That's how
it's
I
the
teach.
patriarchy.
Okay, great. Well, we've solved it. Thank you for joining us here today. The patriarchy is why everything is shite.
Oh God.
All right. So what are we gonna do about it?
I don't know. It's this thing where I try to detach from it because I feel like I have so much bigger fish in my day.
Yeah.
Like truly, I don't want to care about the numbers. I don't want to care about the engagement. But at the same time, the lack of followers, that one metric, is having doors slammed in my face right now, metaphorically.
Right.
And so on one part of my brain, I'm like, well, that wasn't the right door. Like that wasn't the right person.
That's also true.
Like for real. And it's so frustrating because the content that matters, they agree on.
Well, and
it's that one number.
Listen, everyone has a boss. Right? This is how I think about it.
Sure.
And the person you were pitching to is then going to have to
sell it to their boss.
Sell it, or basically say, hey, this is why I said yes to it. And then that person, this is why we said yes to it, right? Yep. So everyone's trying to answer to someone and has to come with metrics, you know? So of course it's not personal.
Right.
Everyone's trying to make money. We get that.
Right. But it's also like I speak in front of thousands of people every year. In front of them. Why doesn't that matter?
Could you say to all those people, hey, everyone here, could you just get your phone and just like do a quick follow?
Because so I do that now.
Okay, because I was gonna say, what if you said, hey, did you like this talk? Yay, I'm doing good things.
Scan this QR code.
I am not getting a frickin' deal, so everyone take this out. I mean, yeah.
Sometimes though, the emergency service conferences are older people.
They don't have it. I know.
Don't have smartphones.
I know.
And so it's like I do every time I do a book signing, I have a QR code.
Who's a publisher for the old folks? I don't know. Can it be like publisher for those who don't have social media and who still
I don't know. It's just, but my thing is like people get chances taken on them all the time. And I'm a pretty sure bet, because I've been doing this for a long time and have like a lot of proven stuff. And it's like this actress has never acted before, and then Steven Spielberg cast her in a thing, or like, someone wasn't doing a thing, and then someone was like, "We like you and believe in you," and now they're doing that thing, and it's like
Okay.
it happens.
Right, but what we need to do then, if you want that to happen, you got to get your ass to a med spa, and you got to get some big old fillers, okay? Then you get your
Look the same as everybody else on social media.
um.
Lord.
Okay, I will say this, and this is coming from I'm not a social media expert.
Mm.
Please do not take advice from me. Consult
She cannot
your
consult.
social media. This is for entertainment purposes only. Okay. Um, what I find really interesting about, and this is just me,
Please
and maybe it's because I don't know.
give it to me.
I love the you behind the you. Okay. And this was our whole argument about the blazer.
Yeah.
Should I come in a blazer? No. But should I come in a blazer? No.
Yeah.
I'm coming in a blazer. No.
Don't come in a blazer.
But I
Relax.
wear the Lady Boss blazers too.
Sure,
But
there's a time and place.
Yes, but the point I'm saying is like when we talk real,
Yeah.
it's more interesting to me.
Yeah.
And I know you're putting your story out there and everything too,
Yeah.
but like if you started to make content, for example, when you had that tough meeting yesterday and you said you were on your floor crying, I want to see a picture of that.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It's a different kind of vulnerable.
Yeah. I literally was sitting on the floor in my office, just like staring into space because I had this amazing meeting and the feedback was so good. And then they said no because I don't have enough Instagram followers. And I was so frustrated because I did the hardest thing. I came up with this project that didn't exist, that's gonna like make all this positive change. And I was so frustrated at that being the reason for the no. But the woman gave me a really interesting piece of feedback that when I was done being super mad, I was able to hear. And I said to you that she was like, I looked at your website and I watched your TED Talk and I looked at this project deck that you sent me. And she was like, I don't see you in it.
Right.
And at first I was like, what do you mean? Like my
I'm
face
all
is on the
over it.
front, my
Yeah.
bio's in there. But she was like, I don't see your story. And I was just sort of like, yeah, I've like told it a lot. And I was just going to focus on the people. And she was like, your story is the thread that makes it matter. And so I've been really thinking on that and sort of realizing that I think I put space between authenticity in a way and like a polished, perfect master's degree blazer version of me. And that was never intentional. I don't know exactly when that happened, but I just thought it was so interesting because she's like, where are you here? And it didn't even, I was like, why? Like, I'm going to tell other people's stories. And it's, I don't know. And so I have another meeting upcoming, and I've been doing a lot of thinking and talking to you about like, what would it look like to show up in a different way there and be less laser business meeting and just be more me?
Do you think the polished version of you was created as part of your protection and trauma response?
Yes, absolutely.
Because you, as raw, authentic Allie, little girl wanting to go to the fire service, was the one that got assaulted.
Yeah, I think that's probably it. I think that's probably it.
Because, like, you just sitting there as you are right now would be such a perfect, in fact, I'm taking it, because it'd be a perfect picture for like social media or website or like, hi, this is Allie. Like, look at how cute you look. You know what I mean? That's you. You know,
Yeah,
that
I
is
don't do
absolutely
that
beautiful
anymore.
you, right?
Thank you.
And that's what's interesting to me is tell me about sitting on the floor like this. Tell me, talk to social media and say, I have this great work that people are saying no to. So all of you watching this, you better tell 5 of your friends. You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm just saying like what I have found is the more authentic someone is, the more followers they do have.
Right.
You know?
I think that makes sense. And like I was talking to you about this Texas flood and how the conversations I'm having are people really being like, how do we take care of ourselves watching the news and this horrible thing happen? Like, and social media I could write a whole freaking dissertation on like when social media became the thing and what major critical incidents happened then and how negatively affected our mental health because now we can see up close all these bad things happening. Um, and so I was saying to you, like, I have a lot of thoughts on how we can take care of ourselves after watching these things and knowing these things and feeling helpless and all these things. And like, that would maybe be helpful for people. And it's like, I just got to this phase where everything had to be like super polished and perfect. And I think it was like maybe a boundary that became like a brick wall. And maybe that's not super needed anymore.
You know, people call like
Mosquito in here.
I know, I'm sorry.
Okay, I have an itch stick in my bag.
Okay.
I'm fine.
New Mexico surprisingly
They're
has
horrendous at our house.
Yeah,
anyway.
we just got hired a spray person
Can you spray for
for mosquitoes. It doesn't take them away completely, but it
like
does
helps.
like help.
Okay, great.
They're in our neighborhood. We're neighbors too.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, let me just touch on the fact that we've only been friends in person for like
2 months.
2 months,
Yeah,
maybe.
you're my bestie.
I know, you're my bestie. We've known each other for like 8 years.
Yeah.
I was on your podcast.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah. And then I was like, "You're cool."
I was like,
so cool. We like stayed in touch. We did a few things together. In fact, with YPAR University, we still have some videos you gave us.
Yes.
We're going to be putting those on.
Amazing.
We're going to do some work together. So just stay tuned, everyone.
Stay tuned.
Basically, we've just been distant, keeping in touch. And then I opened Facebook, saw that you were moving to Albuquerque for your husband's orders here.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that was me. That
I was like, get ready to be friends. It's happening. And we do our Wednesday walks.
Love it.
Caffeinated walk. We talk.
One of us talks on the way out. The other one talks on the way back.
Yeah,
perfect.
Like we just word vomit. But we're moving our bodies, so it takes stress out too.
Yeah.
And talking things through. I love our Women Wednesdays. We walk. Women who walk on Wednesdays. Okay. So I had something else, but I'll circle back to it because I can't remember. But let me ask you this real quick. Why do you want to be a firefighter at little 16 years old?
No, little baby Allie. I always really liked to take care of people. I would make my younger sibling pretend to be sick all the time so I could care for them.
Wait, I think that's called Munchausen's by proxy.
You're sick. I'd be like, just like lay on the couch and I'll just like take care of you and like give you a blanket and like a tissue. So funny. And then similar to that idea of feeling like something was orbiting me on the day of the Ariana Grande concert bombing, the summer before I went into 11th grade in high school, I was feeling that similar feeling of like something, the universe is trying to tell me something. And I was trying to just be like, figure out what it was. And I started school and I was, it's 11th grade. So everyone's like, what are you going to go to college for? What do you want to be? And I was doing like all of these after school clubs and doing things to try to figure out like, is that my thing? Is that my thing? And that summer prior, there was a TV show that had just ended and all the box set DVDs became like really cheap. And I bought them and it was called Third Watch on NBC.
Oh, yeah.
It was like the third watch of fire, EMS, and police. And it was just like a drama from John Wells, who has Girl on Fire now. So
stop it.
That would be so full circle.
Oh my God.
So I literally.
Now I'm imagining us at the premiere.
What are we wearing? Of course. Of course you are. So I remember watching that show and being like, well, I don't really like blood and guts, which is funny because I became an EMT and I'm fine with them now. And I was like, I don't feel responsible enough to have a gun. So EMS is out, police is out. Maybe I want to be a firefighter.
Yeah.
And then at my church, one of the assistant chiefs for the local fire department was a church member, and like we were family friends. Oh my God. And it was October. It was fire safety week where most firehouses are like open and like go get your apple cider and like climb the fire truck. And so that Sunday, my family and I walked out of church, tiny little town square, walked across the street to the firehouse. And I remember walking in to the open bay doors and feeling like the universe like zapped me with a bolt of lightning. This is what you were looking for. Here it is. And that was it. There was never like, do I want to do this? This is crazy. Firefighting, when you're talking about, it was just like a knowing. Like, I know this is what I'm supposed to do. And that was 20 years ago this year.
Do you feel, when was the decision to, so similarly, Eric started off as a volunteer firefighter through college. Then he became a career firefighter right after college, like 22 years old.
Yep. Same with
And
Forrest.
then he decided, after 13 years, to leave fire service. And he left at the top of his game.
Mm.
And he's a humble man,
Mm.
but I knew him 6 months as just a student of mine. So just to clear the air, he was a student. Okay.
I think we're past it now.
I only dated a student once and I married him.
Sure.
Okay, so it was so loud.
Same with me. Everyone always said the only reason you're in the fire service is to find a boyfriend.
Oh, I didn't want any of them. Are you kidding me? They're the worst.
It took Forrest half a year just to get me to stop like ignoring him,
Right.
even though I knew I was in love with him.
And no offense, firefighters.
Right, no
It's
offense,
just,
but it's the stereotype. You get it. You get it.
About.
You get it.
Yeah.
You get it. Yeah. And I'm
So-
like, if I only ever dated one firefighter and I married him, I don't think that fits the stereotype.
Oh, I
But
wanted to
whatever.
marry someone in finance.
Sure.
Okay, come on.
Like the
I was
stock
like,
market.
no, thank you. And also when you're working, because I went through the academy and stuff, and also teaching, you see these guys are farting. They're like, it's not like sexy, you know.
Not about
Anyway,
it.
regardless.
Yes.
Okay. So I was able to observe Eric, and again, there was no romantic feelings there because I look at my students as like my children almost.
Yes,
it's such a different, you know.
Yeah.
It's funny because I will touch their like sweaty feet and stuff to like get them in the right
You're
position.
like, this is not attractive.
And then later I am like, ew, why not? You know what I mean? But in the moment, so I'm saying that because I saw how he was as a boss. He was a company officer, right?
Cool.
So good with his guys. He led them well. He was on the peer support team. He was fully, very transparent about doing therapy.
Amazing.
And, so he was great, top of his game. He got his master's in public administration so he could be chief, like all this stuff. But did decide to leave fire service for a myriad of reasons.
Yep.
That's not what this is about, but it was all good reasons and all like there was a bigger purpose there that we find out later required his experience in fire service, right?
Yes.
So we're like, oh my God, now he's doing this bigger thing because he was a firefighter. He can,
Yeah.
So similarly with you, like, okay, you're doing what you're doing now because of that, and you don't need to be in fire service to accomplish this goal.
Right.
So when did you have that realization of like, I'm not going to be a career firefighter, but I'm leaving. I feel good about leaving. I have this bigger calling now.
Okay, so when I self-published Where Hope Lives and saw that book was taking me in a direction, which was standing on stages and telling my story, I chose to follow that path because that felt the most right. My plan was always to be involved in the volunteer fire service, and I was until my husband joined the Air Force and we started moving all the time.
Did he do anything in fire in the Air Force?
No.
Okay.
Only special warfare. But you know what's really interesting, and I've never said this out loud, so I'm gonna say it here now, recorded for the people. When I stopped volunteer firefighting, it was because we were moving, and that's true. But I think the bigger reason why I stopped is because infertility made me stop trusting my body.
Oh.
And I cannot be a firefighter if I do not trust my body.
Well, see, okay, this is exactly why I want to sort of replicate all this for the fertility community. And here's one of them. We talk about in YFFR the power of your word that we kind of force you to say.
Sure.
What our version of mantras, to get your brain right.
Yeah.
That's why, and it's okay to hear infertility. I still say infertility, but
sure.
You
have said.
Yeah, that I try to say fertility instead of infertility. You know what I mean? But it's things like that I'd like to give people to support because, and to your point, it is so layered, and when a trauma happens from the outside,
you're less responsible for it.
That's what I was about to say. I was hesitant.
No.
I was about to say it's less feeling like your fault.
Mm-hmm.
But I also know a lot
Totally.
of survivors do feel like it's
Right.
fault
That
in
was
some
my
way.
first,
Yeah.
the first chapter in After Trauma is forgive yourself for not seeing it coming.
Right. So I don't want to
But those are
minimize
my
that.
words. Like
Right.
you feel when it's happening inside of your body,
It's
you
like
feel
100% your fault.
exactly.
You know?
And so while we're in a season of moving a lot, and it's just sort of the vibe in the volunteer fire service, like if you're going to be in a place for a year or less, don't join the firehouse because they're going to spend a lot of time training you and then you leave. And so it's sort of like the etiquette. But if we were in our forever house right now, where we're not going to move again, I still don't think mentally I would be in the right headspace to join a volunteer firehouse, even though I want to so bad and miss firefighting and love it so much. My relationship with my body is different.
Because your body has to be your partner.
Absolutely.
It has to move for you. This is our whole argument. Like, so part of with YFR, it's process stress, build resilience, and enhance performance. So we are training your body, your nervous system, your brain to be your trusted partner.
Right.
And not going to fail you.
Right.
Even, I'll give you an example. So when I was going through the academy, there were certain things I was really good at because of how long I have practiced yoga and was in tune with my body.
Yes.
Going through small spaces.
Yes.
Doing this thing to get the SCBA.
Yes.
I was like, they were teaching me how to do it and I was already through.
Love.
You know what I mean? Because I was like, oh, you mean this? You know what I mean? And so there's things that are also already your trusted partner. So if you're like, wait, body, you're not my trusted partner anymore.
Exactly. And I didn't make that connection until maybe this year.
Wow.
Because I get asked that all the time. People understand you're in the military, you move a lot. It's hard to like put roots down anywhere. But now that we are close to the end of moving, we have just one or two left. We're starting to think about now, like, okay, a place where we can actually like decorate for Christmas for more than 1 year because we're actually going to be there. My mark of when we're in our forever house is I'll be able to buy area rugs, large plants, and outdoor furniture. Because when your house changes every year, you're like, I'm not going to buy an area rug.
That's how we're in a place now that we want to be in, even though we're renting for like 3 years. But saying we've only been in a place 2 years was our longest, and nothing was ever nice.
Right. You're just like, I'm not going to buy a different dresser.
I can sit on this.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
so. But it's an interesting thought exercise for me. And it's still like, I work out a lot. I know what my body's capable of. I feel fit and strong. But here, it's like, but your body has let you down for like a really long time.
So there is, I hate the phrase brain to body connection. It's overused. No one knows what the fuck it means.
Same with resilience.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But what it actually means is, let's talk about impulse variability.
Okay.
Right. So with impulse variability, your brain sends a signal. It's the command center. It's sending a signal to your TAC team, right? And the body responds. Right arm, do this. Left arm, do this. And when there is a lot of stress or trauma or burnout or cumulative stress, there's variability in the impulse and the response, which is no bueno.
Right.
A good example of this is you may have heard 911 calls on this, where someone calls in their vehicle saying, my brakes don't work. And then they come to, and this is typically what happens is there's something that caused the brain. One example of this is someone was driving a rental car that had different kind of floor mats that got their foot stuck. It freaked them out. Their brain went whatever. They went to hit the brake. They were really hitting the gas.
Oh, yikes.
So later, upon review, it was the human error. It wasn't a mechanical error, right?
Right.
So that's a good example of impulse variability.
Yeah.
Brain says this, body says, yes, I'm doing that, but it's not doing that.
Right. And we lose our logic because logically you'd be like, is there something in the way? What's going on?
Total signals were like this.
Yeah. Dr. Dan Siegel calls that flipping your lid. It's when your prefrontal cortex just like disengages and all you are feelings and emotions and you can't put logic on them. And so that's what happens when we have a stress response or when we get traumatized or.
So you teed me up.
No,
because
here you go.
When you are working out, you're in your prefrontal cortex, but when you are thinking now of firefighting or whatever, you're back in that not logically thinking, right? So yoga has been shown that you need the prefrontal cortex to practice yoga in the right way,
Sure.
to actually practice
Sure.
intentional yoga like we do.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's why it's so healing because it brings your prefrontal cortex back online, even in stressful situations.
So important.
And then we add in the cognitive behavioral techniques, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I have a challenge for you, my dear.
So ready.
We do have bunker gear here.
Yay.
I would like you to come to my yoga classes. And then eventually we're going to slowly put you in bunker gear and you're going to do yoga in bunker gear. And you're going to retrust your body while wearing bunker gear.
Wow. I would love
We could even
that.
put you on air and everything.
That would be awesome.
Wouldn't that be so cool?
Yeah.
So then you can get back into it in a safe space. And then even if you never go into firefighting, you've
brought it all back together.
You know what I mean? Wow. So I start off, like when I do this with my firefighting students, like in the academy.
Yeah.
After a while of doing the yoga that they know they feel good in the yoga.
Yeah.
We just start with gloves, pants, boots, helmet.
Yeah.
Slowly they go 100% on air.
Love. It'd be so fun to be on air again.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
So anyway, that's my challenge.
Okay.
Then you can wear bunker gear and stick in your prefrontal cortex. Trust your body again. And you're like, body, you are awesome. I am good. And maybe that'll change the fertility stuff.
Maybe so. Albuquerque feels magical. I mean, it's the land of enchantment.
No, it is magical.
But like, I was talking to David about that. He's like, it's like there's magic here. And I'm like, we have felt that even being here for 2 months. It's our favorite place we've ever lived.
It is 100% magic. And I love it here. I'm not going anywhere. And if anyone's thinking, what about the crime? Well, people live in Detroit.
There's crime everywhere. This place is beautiful.
Yeah. And listen, here's what I have to say. If you want to avoid the crime here, don't sell drugs at midnight on Central.
There you go.
Sell drugs at noon in the suburbs like any decent
like everyone else.
Okay? That's my rule of thumb.
It's true.
For Albuquerque. Oh, okay. Last thing I want to just come to end this.
Please.
Speaking of Albuquerque. Speaking of us. Speaking of everything.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad. We did a little mini Breaking Bad tour yesterday.
Yeah.
We got our cocktail at Sal Goodman's office.
Yes, we did. It's now a bourbon house.
Yes, it's now the bourbon house, but the outside is where was the outside of Sal's office, and so we went there. But where we live is close to Hank Schrader's house. We'll have to go up there.
Yes, and the
right over here, right around the corner,
and the car wash.
Car wash is right here.
I drove by it and was like, that looks like the car wash from Breaking Bad. Having no memory in that moment that we were in Albuquerque. Yeah. And then you or someone was like, no, that's the literal car wash. And I was like, oh my gosh.
But literally, I can take you, like, before you leave, right around the corner is Walter White's house.
Oh, where he threw the pizza up on
the And it gets so much attention. There's gates around.
I'm sure the neighbors are probably over it.
Yeah, we'll do a quick run around the block. I'll show you.
Okay.
Yeah. Allie Rothrock. Thank you. Woody Two Shoes. Woodman,
nice.
Woodford Reserve.
Yes.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for trusting me with the hot sauce.
Thank you.
The proverbial hot sauce.
Yes.
You know what? I think at the end of the day, okay, this is what we identified. Patriarchy is keeping us down.
Fuck it. Sorry.
But also I think like your husband said to you, consistency, tenacity, authenticity. These are the words, the isms. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's not to I'm not saying keep banging your head against the wall. You have to have adaptive strategies.
Totally.
But it's like, okay, then I'll do this, and I'll do this, and I'll think this, blah, blah, blah.
And hear the messages that are coming.
Yeah, and be willing to adjust. Like you are taking the feedback from a meeting that you wanted to go this way, it went this way, but you're taking the feedback and
to go into the next meeting.
Yeah,
that's all you can do.
And for anyone who's listening, guys, just pick up her book. Just go on to my videos.
Go on Instagram.
Go on Instagram.
Follow.
Hit the follow. Yeah, for anyone. More importantly than taking care of your resilience today, I need you to follow on the job and off. I need you to follow Allie Rothrock. You follow Yoga for Responders.
Please.
Lady Boss Olivia.
Yes.
Eric.
Read after
Brenneman. We're just gonna list everything. We're gonna say, if you don't follow, I will personally
super mad at you.
Come to you and I will make your coffee. I will break your coffee maker. And you will be so upset.
That
with
would
me.
make me so mad.
Yeah.
Do it.
All right. Love you. Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Hey, before we go, I want to remind you that training your mental and physical health is incredibly important, especially for those working in high-stress jobs like first responders.
And if you're interested in learning more about yoga for first responders, visit yogaforfirstresponders.org for our on-demand training app, online course platform, in-person training, and more.
Like this podcast, subscribe, and give us a great review. We are so happy to have you part of the YFFR mission.